Hey everybody, this is Craig from 9 Volt Games. I want to talk about this before I do a review, because I'm not going to review the game until at least a day after I beat it, but I'm near the end of Last of Us 2 because I had the game spoiled for me, so I know in order of the way the things are going that I'm very close to the end. So I've been streaming it, not every part of it. I don't want to stream the game beginning to end because I tried to say during my stream last night that although I know what the ending of the game is and I know the points throughout the game of things that happen because some asshole spoiled it online, it's still effective, super effective. And like I was streaming it last night and Macintosh was in the stream, and there's a part that I knew was going to happen, but I didn't know the other half of what was going to happen, and it's still like, oof, rough. But let's talk about where the hate is actually coming from. Xbox people, automatically. I don't understand the brand loyalty at this point. Just fucking buy both consoles. People who aren't going to play it, like my brother just sent me a message talking about it. He has an Xbox One. Why is he complaining about Last of Us 2 if he has zero intention of playing it? People who got the leaks know about the big thing that happens. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler free as possible. But I think yeah, whatever. All right, I'll do this, and then I'll do some spoiler shit after. I'll give a big warning so you can shut it off. If you played the first game and you enjoyed it, and you knew that the sequel was going to be with Ellie and Joel, how did you not expect what happens in the game to happen? I saw the spoilers, the leaked spoilers, obviously not knowing if they're true or not. In my head, right when I saw them, I was like, I knew that would happen. There's no possible way that you could have played Last of Us and not seen any of this coming. And then let's talk about this one, because I was about to go back into spoilers. Let's talk about this part. And as far as Abby goes, right? Because I saw this on more than once. I saw this on a family member's post, and then I saw this on other posts online. Where everybody's like, they just wanted to put in a gender-neutral trans pandering character with Abby. She's fucking huge. I know an Abby in real life. She does roller derby, and she's not a big feminist lesbian. Okay, she's just jacked. Now, again, without the spoilers, if something happened in the position of Abby, wouldn't you get jacked in order to get your revenge? Like, you'd get ripped. You'd go to the gym, and this was my joke yesterday. I was saying to Macintosh, before I took over with her story arc, because you one of the things people are mad about is that you play as Abby. You do play as Ellie. They didn't replace that. You play through days 1 through 3 with Ellie, and then you go back and you play the days with Abby, and they have a meeting point. That's good storytelling in my part. I enjoyed this game. I'll tell you a couple of reasons I enjoyed the game. I also said that I did say in my stream yesterday it wouldn't get a perfect score. But anyways, so leading up to the point where you take over her, I was like, I kept telling Macintosh was in there. He was the talkative one. I was like, this girl lived in a gym. She lived in a gym. And when you take over her story arc, the first thing you see when you walk out is a full fucking gym. And I lost it laughing because I was like, that explains that. But I digress. The gameplay is pretty much the same, except it's a little more. It's improved a little more. Everything I was saying yesterday, it moves a little more fluid. I'm a lot more reliant on the consumables that you craft. Like I said, I never used smoke bombs in the first game. I use them now. I barely use the trap bombs. I use them a lot now. I actually do a lot more in conjunction with the items instead of just sneaking and killing. I set up elaborate traps to see how many people are there, and I think of a way that I can execute a plan to take them all out quickly, and I do it. So I did say that the stealth obviously is nothing compared to Hitman. Anybody who's tuned in my stream, I've been playing Hitman. I played Absolution and I beat it, and then I played the Hitman reboot and I beat that too. So I went from playing Hitman to playing Last of Us. So obviously the stealth is not as good, but it's not so far removed from the gameplay of the first that I don't think that gameplay is a legitimate excuse. One of the things I did say as a complaint though is sometimes the AI is really smart. Like I've had people come up and one hit kill me from flanking me and sneaking up and slitting my throat. And then sometimes the AI is just really dumb. I had one where I I had a guy held hostage. I was holding him in front of another character, and they did nothing. They just stood there. And I killed the guy successfully. And then when I stood back up, they were like, "Oh, we got her." And I was like, "You just watched the whole thing and you didn't have me." And then I had a couple glitches, like where I couldn't walk directly through doors. And then I had one point where I had to reload a save because Ellie got stuck in the floor multiple times. And then I had one live on stream where I was trying to do the listening mode, and I spun the camera around, and you could see every door in the level, and there was nothing, no other textures. It was just blank space in all the doors. So I mean, it has its issues. So for that, I wouldn't give it a perfect score. But other than that, they improved the graphics. It pretty much does look the same though. It just looks better. So for me, it's the essence of they didn't make any gigantic changes to the gameplay, the environment, the design, the music, the story even. There's no giant leaps. And I guess you could get mad at that because the last game was made on PS3 and this one's made on PS4. I mean, the game's gorgeous. Graphics, perfect. But it's not that, I don't know, it's not a huge difference to me. But it also doesn't take away anything. So that's my negative and positive. I personally like the story. I've played Last of Us Part 1 at least once a year since it's come out. I think I've streamed the game in its entirety twice. I'm a huge fan of it. So natural progression, story-wise, it's exactly where I assumed it was going to go. The things where the hate's coming from that I don't get is it's okay to say, I was a huge fan of the first one and I was let down by the second. I personally don't see it, but I'm also not you. So I can't share the same opinion as you. I can't say you're wrong for not liking it. I'm sure there's some things in there that people don't like. I just don't get it. But it's okay to say you don't like a game. The thing that made me want to make this video is I saw if you like the game, it's purely because you're okay with social pandering and you're virtue signaling and you're saying that you like it because it's cool. I've been streaming it. If you can't see on my face how like the intense parts get me, how excited I am when I'm doing combat, or how much I'm actually enjoying the story, like you're fucking nuts. Just like I say, it's okay for you to say you don't like something. It's okay for other people to like it too. This is meeting all of my expectations. And I can't wait to get to the end. And like I said, all the stuff that was spoiled for me had zero effect when I was playing the game because it was produced so well. I said the only thing that's from the hate that I understand is the treatment of the Naughty Dog employees. However, this maltreatment of employees is not just Naughty Dog. So you can't boycott a game because you think Naughty Dog employees are being treated like shit. This is an industry-wide problem. There's a lot of places that don't treat their employees well, including Rockstar, but I don't see people boycotting or calling for the end of Grand Theft Auto. I don't see it. I don't see it from anybody. I don't see people saying that boycott Capcom because of how they treated the Dead Rising team. You know what I mean? I don't see this stuff from other companies. So where's the hate really coming from? Well, all right, spoiler zone. If you're done, if you don't want it, if you've seen the spoilers, whatever. Did you leave yet? Because I'm about to spoil it. So 3 hours in, Joel dies. I saw that coming. And I just tried to explain it to my brother, who clearly didn't play the first one and is bitching about the second one. I said, if you didn't see Joel dying in this game, you're fucking blind. Okay? This game has no problem gutting you by killing people. Like, right in the first game, Sam and his brother. Sam died, then his brother killed himself. Obviously, Joel's gonna die. Whether you think it's right or wrong, I would have took Ellie out of that situation at the end of the first one in a second, because I'm a parent, and I can attach myself to that. So this is what the fun duality is. Any argument I got in with anybody, they said, I would have sacrificed her for the betterment of humanity. And I was like, and I wouldn't. And that's what the game wanted you to do in the first one. They wanted you to feel something. So Joel took her out of there. He wiped out a shit ton of Fireflies. He stopped what possibly could have been a cure for humanity. And then he killed Marlene, who at that point was Ellie's mother figure. And then he lied to her fucking face at the end. And that was the end of the first one. They said they're making a sequel with Joel and Ellie. You think she wouldn't find out? You think Joel wasn't going to die? Of course, they changed it up. I knew that Joel was going to die. I just didn't know how or when. I personally thought Ellie was going to find out and put a fucking bullet in his head. I thought that's what was going to happen. But I knew he was going to die. And then Abby killed him. And a lot of the reason that people don't like Abby is because they think that they're pandering to some gender neutral thing or some trans, normalization. And that's not it. This girl's dad died. She was skinny then. She had a little bit of muscle tone. But I imagine in like a post-apocalyptic world, if you're a survivor past a certain age, you're strong. You're toned. Some people are probably buff. They need tanks out there. She pretty much lives in an army complex. They run the WLFs. They run their shit like an army. They have a gym right when you walk out. This girl had to go see her dad's dead body after Joel went and took her out. This girl had one thing on her mind. I'm going to get jacked and I'm going to fucking destroy this man. So of course she's buff. Not everybody else is buff like that. They don't have the drive that she has. And like I was saying, like I know somebody who's jacked like that. They kind of had a fucked up childhood. They probably didn't want that shit to happen to them again. They got big. They're going to do something about it. So that's the way I took it with Abby. And then everyone's like, Neil Druckmann had to insert himself in. Neil Druckmann's not Mexican. Manny's Mexican. But even if they put his likeness in there, like, who gives a shit? Who cares? And then they're like my brother was like, I can't believe you have to play as Abby the whole time. It's like, you don't play as Abby the whole time. You play through Ellie's story, and then you backtrack through why Ellie got to where she is, and they meet in the middle, which is at the theater. So, I mean, all the other stuff, like I said, I knew Owen was gonna die. I did not know that Mel was gonna die. So that shit got me. The pregnant lady got her throat slit, like rugged. That was a powerful scene. And even if you knew it was coming, the way that it was produced was so well. But like I said, if this game's not your cup of tea and you bought into it thinking it was something else, it's kind of your fault, but I can also empathize with you. I've bought games that I thought were going to be good and they turned out not to be good. Last of Us, I had to have this community tell me to even play because I dismissed it when it was originally announced because like, I'm all set with zombie games. I'm done. I'm done with zombie games. And then I ended up playing it. It was one of my favorite games of the last generation. Now, as far as games that come out this year, obviously I love Last of Us 2, right? But Doom Eternal is great. I would probably put this game over. I would put Doom Eternal over Last of Us, and Final Fantasy VII still my game of the year. But it's okay to enjoy this game too. I enjoy it. It's definitely, so far, one of the best games I've ever played this year. And since there's no surprises for me anymore, if it keeps carrying on the way it does, unless all of a sudden it turns into PS1 graphics while I'm near the end, and the voice acting all of a sudden goes downhill, I don't see it being terrible. But this whole shit, it's not new to this game either, but this whole shit of like bombing a series, like Xbox people, Xbox only people, do you know how close you were to having a Last of Us clone? I was talking about this in my stream yesterday. People don't know what happened with Dead Rising. Who don't know what happened with Dead Rising should really look it up. There was a documentary on here that I referenced people to during my stream yesterday. Dead Rising failed because Microsoft funded Dead Rising 3 under the caveat of every time you come out with a Dead Rising, we want first crack at it on our consoles. And when it came time for Dead Rising 4, what was it? Toronto? I think Toronto made, Capcom Toronto made Dead Rising. When it came time for Dead Rising 4, the reason that it felt so different is because Microsoft said, we want a competitor to Last of Us on Xbox. And then they did not, Capcom Japan was like, not a fucking chance because that's not what Dead Rising is, but they were almost done with that game when they presented it. So then they had to go back and make it like Dead Rising. That's why Dead Rising 4 was so off compared to the other ones. And then apparently Dead Rising 5 was going to be great, and then Capcom was just like, fuck it, shut the studio down. And they shut the studio down. And that's what happened. Xbox only people, you were very close to having Last of Us. So when you shit on it, just think of that. Microsoft wanted it so bad that they sunk an amazing franchise for it. But I digress. This whole console loyalty thing is bullshit. And I saw other people saying they didn't like it because of the whole like lesbian story, and they just wanted an inclusion in the LGBTQ community. Did you not play the first one? Did you not pick up that Ellie was a lesbian? Did you play Left Behind, where her girlfriend died? Like, come on, man. You don't think an adult girl who's interested in girls is going to have a female companion in a game that you know that Joel is going to die in? And it's not even her the whole time. You get to play with her, Jesse. You get to go back and play missions with Joel. You get to play missions with Tommy. Like, where's the hate really coming from? Let me know what you guys think. And if I get an ignorant response and you know that it's ignorant, like, I'm not going to respond to you. But if you have a legitimate reason why you dislike the game, I'm willing to listen to it. Because like I said, I do have some negatives about this game. But as far as I'm concerned, it's an amazing game. I don't think it's Game of the Year, but it's definitely an amazing experience. And it's sad that people are letting the online leaks ruin it for them. Because I'm telling you, even if you know what's going to happen, that's how I knew those leaks were true. The first time I saw it, I was watching the live stream of John Wick 3 on Watch Mojo, and someone put all the spoilers on there. I was like, fuck. As soon as I saw them, I was like, even an unverified source, if they were true or not, as soon as I read them, I was like, I know that's true, because that's the only logical way it could go. But let me know what you guys think about it. I'm personally enjoying it. I think it's a fantastic game, and I think it would be a lot different if this game is multi-platform. I think the backlash would be a lot different if this game was multi-platform. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong, but I really do think, a lot of hate comes from exclusive games on any platform because of their exclusivity. So just let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Hope everyone has a great day.